How long am I gonna let this thing just sit there, man?
Let it sit.
I am not moving this bait at all.
Until you get a bite.
There he is. Look at that, dude. Dead sticking a Ned rig in cold water.
Deadly. Deadly Nedley.
So there's no doubt Ned rigs catch a lot of fish. I made a lot of videos in the past, but today I want to take some time and just show you the different retrieves that I like to use. One's going to be just a normal cast and work the finesse Ned rig back to the boat real slow, some pauses. The next retrieve that I like is more of just a drag, where I'm actually just dragging that Ned rig down on the bottom around the structure. The third way that I like to fish a Ned rig is going to be pitching to obvious pieces of structure and just pitching that bait, shaking it in place, maybe hopping it a little bit, then reeling back up, pitching it back in to the type of cover. Today we'll be fishing some laydowns as well as some rock with the Ned rigs. So that's my next favorite way. And then the last way I like to fish a Ned is actually what we call dead sticking. Really not moving it at all. So we're gonna find areas where the fish are holding. We're gonna throw that bait out there and we're not gonna move it until that fish bites it.
I'm gonna dead stick it for the most part.
All right.
Just gonna get my line tight.
So that's another retrieve. You know, these fish are not really, they're biting a little finicky today.
Talk about it.
I'm just shoving it up in there. You want to make sure it's nice and straight. I'm just going to let that Ned sit out there. It's called dead sticking. I'm not going to move it. I'm literally just going to try to feel and I'm not moving that bait. That fish is going to come to that Ned. There's a little bit of current, so it's moving that bait. I'm not going to overwork it at all. I'm just going to let it sit in an area where I think there's some fish. Now dead stick up to 20-30 seconds before I move it. Don't do that. Come on, I'm trying to video.
This is the type of stuff people want to see.
Okay, so now I'm dead sticking it and I feel a bite. So I'm just seeing if there's a fish there, and he's there. There he is. Definitely not the biggest smallmouth in here, but
The pretty one.
he is. All I'm doing is I'm raising the rod up, lifting that line up, just so I can make contact and feel that bait, because I want to feel a bite when I'm not moving it. You got one?
I do.
Joe's got one.
Dude, he popped it, let it go, and came swirled back around and got it. They're being a little finicky this afternoon. He hit it like a big one. Oh God. He hit it like a big one. Nice little 3.5 pound smallie. I was just letting it sit there and soak. The old sit and soak presentation.
Yeah, it seems like they really want that dead sticking right now.
60% of the time it works every time.
So I've been letting this just sit out there When I feel like I've fished an area long enough, I'm just gonna reel it a little bit, drag it, and then let it sit.
Okay, Joe.
I'm gonna do the dead stick thing. These fish definitely seem to be a little finicky today. We've had a couple days up here, cold days and nights. Last night I think it went down to 22 degrees. So these fish, that's the old dead stick maneuver. Just letting it sit and soak in their nose.
Yeah, I really think that's the retrieve. Gotta get over the log.
Yeah, that gets bonus points. They're all like, not monsters, but they're popping it.
A cast, you can't move it. You cannot move that bait.
I'm using a 7-foot light action rod. And I'm just throwing a little 1/10 ounce weight. It's got the weed guards, they're a little boogered up. My hook's a little boogered up too, but I would retie it or change it out, but I kind of have a feeling that one of these times I'm just going to snag it and lose it.
Could be. Which way you going?
I'm going to go over there. But that light action rod really loads up nice on that light bait. Throw it out there a good country mile. There's one. Oh, God.
Yeah, they're biting very finicky.
They are very finicky.
It was just that temperature drop. It went from 50 degrees. This time of the year, it was 50 degrees, and overnight it was down to 24, and we had snow and everything. So that
Dude,
in this shallow water will make them a little finicky.
So really your retrieve, if you know that something like that happened, you know, the water temperature a week ago was probably in the mid 40s in here, especially later on with a warming day. And then you get a couple days, you know, chilly days, cold nights. You kind of know right off the bat that you're going to have to fish a little slower. So out of the 3 or 4 Ned rig presentations that Travis brought up today, the dead stick or super slow retrieve is probably going to be the one you want to go with after, you know, a big drop in water temperature.
Well, it seems like the dead sticking's the deal today. These fish are just real lethargic. This guy he didn't even bite like a real fish, if that makes sense. There he is. Hooked right where he should, but just biting weird. I can't believe how slow you have to work this right now.
Well, it's just cool.
Like right there's a bite. There he is. That's a good one. That's a good one. So slow though. That's the thing, guys. So, you know, that quick retrieve and that hop, that works some days. Dragging it, and then of course, kind of dead sticking it. Keep it in one spot as long as you can handle. You got one, Joe?
Yeah. Oh, he came off.
We're getting a little bit bigger.
He came back and got him.
He did. And a lot of times if you do have a little nipper like that and you pull and he pops off, you don't want to reel it back right away. Just let it sit there for a second.
Yep.
Let him come back around. Maybe get a second take. Who knows, maybe there's 2 of them there together and the other one wants to come in and get a little spin.
Well, they're getting hooked. They're biting really good when you can get a hook in them. Look at that
a little
guy.
bigger too. I don't know about mine.
So I made a long cast, guys. You can see we have some breeze, and with this light braid, there's just a huge bow in the line. And so I have high vis braid on. That's going to allow me to see that line jump. Because we're dead sticking, we're hardly moving. that bait. All I'm doing is watching that bow. I'm waiting for the tick. So I'm not moving it. I'm just waiting for the tick. And I can see that high vis yellow. Really helps me feel the bite. There he is. Guys,
My turn.
I'm sure a lot of you guys that follow my channel have maybe seen the video we did about using colored jig heads, chartreuse and red. Epic Eric and I did a show about that last year. I'm going to put that in the description below if you guys want to check that video out. I think sometimes it does make a difference.
I'm really starting to believe it today.
Yeah, I have fished just lately. Just a little bit.
I don't know. And the fish are definitely bigger.
So sometimes what I like the yellow line is because you can't feel that bait down there. You're just relying on that line. Because I'm dead sticking, I don't have a good contact with the bottom. I'm just letting it sit there. I need that high vis to see that tick in that line. And that's when I set the hook. Shoot. Little guy. Well, that was on the bottom of his lip. Huh. Interesting. There he is. There we go. Oh, I missed him, dude. There's bite. See that line move? Got him.
Set it so he wouldn't forget it.
Not a big one. But fun nonetheless.
Ooh.
And the line broke.
Man, I thought your rod snapped.
No. Hook good.
All right, so I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I was using a green pumpkin TRD, but just kind of have a feeling maybe they're in the mood for peanut butter and jelly. Travis is catching them on that chartreuse head. I've never experimented a whole lot with this. I do throw these red heads, but I haven't messed around with the chartreuse ones a whole lot. So now I kind of want to see if I put a red head on, is Travis gonna outfish me with his chartreuse?
It's so hard to tell how big they are. I'm not complaining.
Dude, they just decided to bite like crazy.
For some people.
Dude, I was hammering them. Watch this. Ready?
Yes.
Ready? There he is.
Oh, look at that. Maybe I can get one real quick.
Oh, he came off.
So is it safe to say that a slow, super slow retrieve and maybe the colored head today?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, definitely super slow retrieve. What is that? I don't know if the red one catches giants. I don't think the red one catches the big fish. Kind of what I'm thinking. Might as well keep going with it.
We might as well.
There's one. Oh God! What is going on?
Oh no. You hooked up? Whoa.
Deadly Nedley. I am kind of believe it.
Hello. Boom. See ya. Oh. Will's our cameraman today.
Well, you're doing a heck of a job.
You got a good fish too.
He's all right.
Huh?
This is almost like the ones Travis catches. This one's too big to flip. Look at that little pot-bellied son of a gun. Be like Wilson from Home Improvement. Remember that?
You're dating yourself there.
So what we're doing here is we're making a real nice long cast out yonder. And basically what you do is, as soon as it hits the water, you flip your bail closed, maybe give it a crank or two to get your line tight. And then it's just a waiting game. Kind of having a staring competition between my jig and the fish. And whoever flinches first loses. Oh man,
How many in a row is that?
I don't know.
40?
That's a couple. It's fun. It's a freaking blast. I bet there was a 40-second count there before I got popped. These fish are too big to flip. I'm pretty content with my little switch up there. Little redhead with some peanut butter and jelly. Just looks like a little piece of candy. Little morsel. Maybe I'll take a picture with that one. This one just, he has to have his picture taken with me. So, ever since I switched that little redhead, little PB&J action, it's like somebody rung the dinner bell.
Ever since you started dating that redhead?
Ever since I dated that redhead. Gave her a little peanut butter and jelly. She gave me the smelly.
All right, so dead sticking's working. We're just throwing it out there. There's a tick.
You got him? There's your snag.
I got him. He was on, dude. He was on.
Yeah, we learned today we're going to come out here and talk about 3 different techniques, and
I think the best.
one of them being a dead stick, and that seemed to prevail.
It sure did. And I'm assuming just because of the super cold water, guys, we've had some cold nights here. Some very cold nights. But we're putting some fish in the boat. Got to work these nets slow sometimes. And don't overlook working a net slow just in cold water. Sometimes when you get around fish that are real pressured, that are finicky, you're going to want to try that approach as well. You want to at least put that in your rotation of retrieves, and especially if the bite gets tough. So slow.
Whatever it takes.
There's a bite. There he is.
Oh man.
One snag and one bite.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna go over there where they're at. I've been trying to hit her at a different angle, you know. Hit her at a different spot.
And there's a tick. There he is. Ooh, that feels like a good one. Whoa. Whoa.
Taking you for a ride.
Jumper, he was way out there. I'll tell you what, for this technique, Joe, I know you picked on me for having my bright yellow line, but it really helped me today. He's off.
I was just having fun with you.
It really helped.
I just kind of poke around at what I think you're going to be sensitive about.
Oh.
And I picked up on the yellow line thing right away. So I thought I'd have some fun with it.
There we go. Another decent fish.
Dude, how do I get a
Barely
stick every
hooked.
cast?
Well, there you go. Cold water, Ned rigging, retrieve is important. Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite retrieve is when it comes to Ned rigging. I think we caught him pretty good today.
Mm-hmm.
No super studs, but that's a pretty good fish.
The favorite retrieve has to be the one that catches the fish for the day.
That's
so
right.
you experiment with those different ones and figure out which one works best.
All right, guys, until next time, we'll see you on the water.